Isang mayabang at hambog na Romanian boxer ang lumait at pinagtawanan ang height ng isang Pilipino boxer sa isang IBF Intercontinental Championship na ginanap po sa bansang Amerika. Ang Romanian boxer na ito ay nagngangalang Alexandru Marin, isang undefeated knockout artist na mayroong record na 16 wins, 12 knockouts at 0 loss. Isang Pilipino kasi noon na tubong Cebu City ang nabigyan ng isang malaking pagkakataon na lumaban sa isang title match kontra sa isang undefeated Romanian. Ang Pinoy na ito ay si Bruno Escalante na kasalukuyang residente po ng USA, California na may records na 15 wins, 7 knockouts at 4 losses. Sa face-off pa lang po mga master ay sobra na pong minaliit at pinagtawanan ng Romanian boxer ang ating kababayan dahil nga po sa height nito na 5'2". Bastos nga po na inangat ng Romanian boxer ang mga kamay nito at nilagay po sa ibabaw ng ulo ng Pinoy na nagpapahiwatig ng kawalan ng respeto sa Pilipino boxer. Dahil nga po dito, nabastusan ang ating kababayan at tinulak nito ang hambog na Romanian boxer. Sa isang interview nga po mga master ay tinanong ang Romanian boxer kung ano nga po ang masasabi nito sa Pinoy na makakalaban nito at ito nga po ang mainit na naging pahayag nito mga master.
Good grip. It's like I'm fighting a dwarf. I don't think that surely will last against me. I said, give me a strong opponent, not someone I'm just going to use as a punching bag. I really won't show any mercy. Sorry Filipinos, but I'm going to put your countryman to sleep in the very first round.
Sobrang hambog mga master, tinawag na unano at gagawin lamang daw pong punching bag ang Pinoy sa kanilang magiging laban. Ang malala pa dito mga master, first round lang daw po ang tatagal ng ating kababayan sa kanya. Ubod talaga ng yabang. Kaya naman mga master, sa mismong laban ay pinakita po ng Pinoy na nagkamali ito ng inaalipusta. Pinakita rin po ng Pinoy na hindi po height ang basihan ng isang malakas na boksingero.
Under a minute to go here in round number one. Not all that much has happened here in the first frame between Marin and Escalante. Escalante just basically content to kind of box from the outside, move around the perimeter of the ring. Haven't been really any heavy punches landed by either man, although it has been Marin more or less playing the role of aggressor.
Landed some nice body shots there. It was a nice right cross landed twice by Marin. I think he's definitely winning this opening.
No, there's no doubt. Then he did punctuate that with the left hook that he planted to the side of Escalante.
Sa round 2 mga master ay bibilib ka po talaga sa ating kababayang Pinoy. Kahit po maliit ito mga master ay nakikipagsabayan po ito sa isang undefeated Romanian boxer.
It doesn't seem like his power shots are able to dissuade Marin in any way. Not yet anyway. Maybe he has to time him right. Perhaps land during an exchange. And he hasn't done that yet.
Yeah.
Ring so quick, but you're right. Some of the punches have not been effective just yet.
Although that was a pretty good 1-2 he landed, Cynthia.
I know, as I was saying
Yeah,
that.
but you know, there's going to come a point in time where Escalante is going to have to sit inside that pocket, and as a mouthpiece comes bouncing out, I think they're going to call a timeout, and Wayne Hedgebeth is going to look for a break in the action before calling timeout here.
Mouthpiece came out.
No, I'm not sure about that.
I think it might have been Marin's. He was the one sort of pointing to it. Maybe he was just being helpful to Wayne.
Sa round 3 mga master ay sineryoso na po ng Romanian boxer ang laro sapagkat nakita po niya na hindi po talaga basta-basta ang Pinoy. Meron din po talagang lakas ang Pinoy na hindi po niya kayang pataubin basta-basta.
Only one I've ever actually prognosticated correctly was the Mauricio Herrera fight. But other than that, Danny Garcia finds ways to win. I think he's a cleaner technician, the superior puncher. But I do wonder, does he have the passion to deal with the likes of Sean Porter, who's really going to smother him for 36 rounds and make it physically tough in there?
And if you remember earlier this year, Brandon Rios, who's a totally faded veteran, not a natural welterweight, had moments
hung in there,
crowding Garcia. Now, Garcia knocked him out when we got to the later rounds of that fight, once he kind of warmed up and knocked off some ring rust. But that was a blown-up lightweight who had not exactly led a Spartan lifestyle, borrowing from the nickname of Marin there. It'll be interesting to see how Garcia deals with that sort of smothering straitjacket-like pressure of Sean Porter.
You see Marin now crouching down on the inside, digging to the body. That might be the way to really open up Escalante. It's obvious, though, he certainly has much more firepower. Keep this in mind, Escalante in 21 fights has only scored 7 stoppages, so he's not really that much of a puncher.
You see how low he got down when he was pretty low to the floor.
Well, that's one of the things that a taller fighter has to do, and they'll talk about this in the gym. When you're going to be a taller fighter getting inside, they always say make yourself small, which is another way of saying crouch and bend your knees. Good left hand by Escalante.
Sa round 4 mga master ay dito na po nagsimulang mamaga ang pagmumukha ng Romanian boxer sa mga suntok na tinatamo sa kababayan po nating Pinoy. Small but terrible po talaga ang ating kababayan mga master.
I think pressure and activity very important for the Romanian fighter. If you allow a southpaw boxer whose footwork is as good as Escalante to have space to breathe and operate at his own pace, you can get outboxed. And I thought Escalante actually did that in round 2.
Round 2.
Yeah, round number 3 though I thought was decidedly for Marin.
Nonito Donaire first managed Escalante earlier in his career. And
That would make sense, yeah. Both guys born in the Philippines, and they reside and train in the Bay Area.
And then he didn't even know Nonito was in the WB Super Series.
Yeah, it's facing Ryan Burnett. Boy, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I would really admire Nonito. I think he's going to the Hall of Fame one day based on that career.
Yeah.
It's been about 11 fights in 5 or 6 years since he's been at 118. Doug, history tells us at a certain age, you're like a one-way elevator. You're supposed to go up, not down.
Yeah,
okay?
bantamweight was the perfect weight for Donaire 8 or 9 years ago.
Yeah.
I thought he was explosive. He was amazing. He was pound-for-pound stuff against Fernando Montiel. But at this age and this stage of his career, light probably isn't right.
Yeah.
Oh, he just slipped with that hook. Oh, very low. So weird when he was taunting him yesterday in the weigh-in. The whole time they did badmouth each other up until he got on the stage and just said, "I'm gonna kick your ass."
That's a nasty cut that Marin has over his right eye. It's under the eyebrow. It's just above the eyelid.
Keep this in
I
mind.
think it was a clash of heads that did it, but I'm not sure.
Well, if that's the case, we are going to make this fight official in about 10 seconds or less. So this fight, if it is stopped due to an accidental clash of heads, will go to a technical decision. Yeah.
fifth round.
Escalante seems a little bit more willing to trade inside the pocket.
At least in the second half of the round. I thought he was soundly outworked over the first half of the round. But I like that he's going to the body.
Yeah.
See again, Escalante going to the right-handed stance, right on the inside. Switching things up.
I
Now
think it's confusing Morin a
It
little
is
bit.
to a
He's-
certain degree because that power hand all of a sudden switches
Yeah.
to the backhand. So Escalante had a pretty good second half of round number 5. It'll be interesting to see how the judges scored this particular frame.
Yeah, I think this round 5 could go either way.
Yeah, and we are happy.
Sa round 6 mga master ay naging maganda po ang sabayan ng dalawang boksingero. Pinatunayan po talaga ng ating kababayan na hindi po talaga siya basta-basta lang na ganun babastusin. Talagang pinahirapan po nito ang Romanian boxer, mga master.
Yeah.
Turning him, working the jab. And when he sees an opening for that left cross or that left hook from the orthodox stance, let it go.
It worked for him in what, the third round?
Yeah.
Yeah, fourth round actually. The third or fourth? Fourth. Working his jab right now.
And his corner likes what they see. They feel he needs to box from a distance and that Morin will give him opportunities to tee off with power shots. But it all comes off of that jab from a distance. And they might be right.
Good right hand and another one bouncing off the head of Escalante.
I think this is going to be another one of those rounds, like round 5 was, that could go either way. It really depends on what you like.
Yeah, but I will say this, though. I do think Morin has landed the majority of hard, heavy, clean shots in this round.
When he lets his hands go. But he's let his hands go in spot, Steve. And when he's not letting his hands go, he's being outboxed by Escalante.
But I have to be honest, I wish Escalante would punch a little bit more.
Right.
There's too many dead spots for him offensively.
I agree. And I think Morin is winning this round.
Yeah.
I was
And I'm just
say.
saying, I wouldn't be surprised if at least one of the official judges scores this round for Escalante.
Sa round 7 mga master, kontrolado na po ng Pinoy ang laro at ilang beses nga pong pinatamaan ng solid sa pagmumukha ang Romanian boxer na patawa-tawa lang.
Right crosses. And a lot of Escalante's defense when he's again. Oh, that was a nice left landed by Escalante. He needed that. Morin smiles at him.
Oh,
And there's another one.
one.
Don't smile, dude. Do something back.
Oh,
If you're gonna smile, be like Lulu Houghton and smile on the
he
attack.
got him again.
Good right hand by
Yeah.
Escalante.
I tell you what, when Escalante is an orthodox boxer, at least momentarily, it opens up more offensive opportunities for him.
Good left hand again by Escalante.
And these are eye-catching lefts that are snapping the head back.
So far, it's a good round for him. Aaron looks a little tired.
No,
right?
he really
Yeah.
does. You know, Cynthia, Escalante's corner told him about a round or two ago, don't go for the knockout. You'd have to figure if they're down on the cards, we're at the stage of the
Work
fight
the
now.
body.
He may have to just start letting his hands go more. He's having a lot of success here in round number 7.
Well, we should note that the more experienced boxer is Escalante. He's been a pro for about 8.5 years, and I believe he's gone the 10-round distance on 3 occasions.
And I do have my contact lenses on.
I took mine off. I'm just going to watch the screen.
A couple of good right hands there by Marin. You know, based on the momentum of the last 90 seconds of round 7, you'd figured you'd see a more aggressive Bruno Escalante, but Doug, maybe that's just not what he is.
Yeah, and if you look at his record, he's lost to some guys he should have beat. He got a gift decision, in your opinion,
Against Olguin,
in
yes.
his last fight, and Olguin is the guy you're supposed to shine against. And I have to assume, now in the fight with Olguin, I didn't see that. Why do you think Olguin deserved that decision?
Well, I just thought he outworked him. I
Yeah,
think
so
the
that's what
last
it is.
6 rounds, he simply outworked him. There was a visible gasping at the Stormhouse in Salinas, which was really a homecoming for Ruben Villa. And
That's a young prospect.
I just
from
remember
Bayern.
when they announced Escalante the winner, me and Beto nearly got whiplash looking at each other in astonishment.
Silent during this round 9 because Marin is not landing with regularity. And part of that is due to the defensive prowess and the movement of Escalante. And Escalante is not returning fire enough.
You know,
Certainly not enough to win the.
Sa round 10 mga master ay talaga namang sabayan kung sabayan ang ginawa ng Pinoy sa kalaban na Romanian boxer. Pinatunayan po talaga ng kababayan nating Pinoy na karapat dapat po siyang manalo sa laban na ito dahil pinahirapan po talaga nito ng gusto ang kalabang Romanian boxer.
and it is
Alexandru Marin that's making this. I mean, he's the one who's fighting with a sense of urgency.
It seems to me like he's the one who's wanting to put the finishing touches on what's been a hard night's work. Escalante simply, in my view, has not been consistent enough throughout the 3 minutes of most rounds to win them on the judges' scorecard.
Yeah, he's had his moments. He's shown his class in flashes and spots, but he just hasn't put it all together enough to win consecutive rounds.
But it's funny when you look at it, look at Marin's face.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, just like you said, the last bout, who knows?
Coming into the last minute of this bout, and Doug, I think this is a classic example of why you shouldn't judge a fight by blood.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, the man whose face is clean has been soundly outworked, and I believe is losing this fight. And I just don't know why Escalante is not putting his foot to the gas pedal at least a little bit more. He does have success when he comes forward.
He needs to go into overdrive. He has less than 40 seconds.
Now Escalante standing and delivering inside the pocket, but will it be too little too late against the more consistent Alexander Marin? Escalante now coming on. Marin trying to fight back. Final seconds of what's been. Well, it's a slip. It's a slip, and
Jonathan Davis, 97-93, Escalante. Alejandro Rochin has it 98-92 for your winner by split decision. He is now the IBF Super Flyweight Intercontinental Champion and still undefeated, Alexandru Marin.